Hi everybody, it's me, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions LLC, the creators of AthleticSOS. We have a software that if you're trying to get an athletic scholarship or your high school athlete is trying to get an athletic scholarship, our software can show them all the schools based on their academics, the sport they play, the level they believe they can participate in college, and we'll show them all the schools they qualify to attend that have that sport so they can start making a choice of which school fits them best instead of waiting to be discovered. What I want to do today, because one of the things that happens, and I'm going to try to do it now, when I do these videos, I give you guys a code and I give you instructions in the description below for the YouTube channel. I give the information down there, and you guys can go ahead and sign up, and there's no cost to use the software. And so we're working on some things, and next week I'll tell you what some of those things are so that we can generate some revenue so we can keep this going. I don't want to miss any kids. I guess that's the best way to put this. And so when I charge for the software, we were getting people purchasing it. That was fine, but I was missing so many other kids, and there was a variety of reasons. Some people couldn't afford it. Some people just felt they didn't need it. We got it all under control, no problem. And then they end up getting disappointed because things didn't go quite the way they thought they were going to go. And some of the parents have already got, this is an adult thing, I guess, is I got a lot of parents that are like, they thought of it as almost a weakness. We don't need that. We don't go that way. Our kids got talent. They don't need all that stuff. And so there's always a variety of reasons. So I said, you know what? If I want to reach every kid, there's no reason not to use our software. It is excellent software. I did this for 35 years for the government. I know what I'm doing. My team that I have has tons of experience, and we've created the ultimate, in our opinion, the ultimate software for you to be able to figure out the best, all of your options, and then you can narrow it down to where you want to go. So one of the things that always happens with the software, when I leave that code and everything, I get emails. Invariably, people track me down. They send emails to us or to our info at AthleticSOS, and they go, well, when I'm registering, it has a check box that says there is no guarantee. And so I want to talk about that today, because other things that I get when I go and when I do speaking engagements and things like that, people are always saying, okay, what athlete has the best chance? What is it that I should do to get the best chance to get an athletic scholarship? And so what I want to talk about in this one is I want to talk about the two archetypes that I've seen through the years. And this is all my opinion. I have no scientific backing, but these are the two types of athletes that I see that are best positioned and almost always end up getting at least an offer for an athletic scholarship. Whether or not they take it is a different thing. And so the first one is that superstar. This is the kid that's been good since they were 5 years old, and they just all the way through. They're the kid that everybody else depends on the team, and they have that personality. And a lot of times this kid has had some advantages, right? They just genetically, they're just born to other athletes. And then sometimes their parent, it could be the male or the female, has played at a higher level. And so they know what to do. And so they picked up their genetics, and they're getting the knowledge that parent can convey to their kid as they grow up. And that kid has that same movement, the same abilities, but now they can enhance it because that parent knows what it takes to get to that level, whether it's college or whether it's professional or Olympic or whatever it is that they were able to accomplish all those goals. This kid has a great chance of getting there, but it's that confidence and that inside information that gives this kid an advantage, especially from an early age, because one of the things we find is most parents, when they're starting their kids out, a lot of the parents never had any athletic background. They put their kids in soccer or basketball, baseball, football, whatever it is, where they're going to get them started. And they assume that the coaches that are going to be coaching the kids are going to teach them how to play. And so that sets that kid behind anyway. So this kid has that sort of early advantage. And then they ride it through because that confidence keeps building. And what ends up happening for that kid is if you're good at 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you get put into a different category and you get the better coaching, you're playing against better players, and you're getting better equipment and training options. All of this stuff starts to happen for you. And then that kid that did not show that early promise gets down another track. Now they can come back over and get there if they have that natural ability, but it's just not sort of built in. And but there's a lot of kids that have that early advantage and then they get satisfied. And that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about here. If you're going to be a satisfied athlete, you're going to have trouble elevating step by step by step. Maybe you get to high school and you're great, but when you get to college, you're not going to be that player. You're not going to have that ability. And you're trying to get to pros, you can forget about it. The satisfied player always gets knocked off. So it's usually a star that has accepted that has enveloped that role and they're happy with it. And so when they come out, they're working hard. And there's two things that I always say for you if you want to be a star and you want to elevate your game. One, that you're going to improve your weaknesses, because every star has weaknesses. And so through the years, that star that doesn't keep elevating, that star, everybody catches up to them, right? They don't keep improving their game. They keep working on the same thing over and over again. And then the second thing they do is they take their strengths and then they make it unmatchable. The opponent cannot stop this. I'm so good at this and I've worked so hard on it, and it's just a natural ability that I have. I'm going to keep improving that to the point where it's unmatchable. I don't care if you stop everything else that's going on. I can do this thing. And so if you can get those two things, you improve your weaknesses, but don't focus so hard on your weaknesses that you forget to make your strength unmatchable. So those are two things that I would say that you want to learn how to do. So that is the, I call that kid the verifiable kid. That's where the college coach is coming to see you in your high school years, and they're just verifying. You've got the stats, you've got the scores, you've got the awards, you have everything that you need, whether it's a team sport or an individual sport. You just have everything is there. Now this coach needs to see. They're looking for that verify. They're just coming to see. And this is why I always emphasize to you guys, make sure that you're playing against other kids that are going to be playing in college at the level you want to play. So if you think you're a D2, D3 in AIA, make sure you're playing against kids that are at least at that level. If you want to go high D1, you need to play against high D1 kids. And if you're that kid, you're that kid. And so that's where that goes. Here's the other thing for that kid. You have to be able to, if you're on a team, say you're on a high school team, and everybody on that team is not at your level, you're the top player on that team. When you're playing and you've got certain scores, you hit certain marks all the time, right? But when you guys are playing against people that are better in your team, do you step up and you carry your team to success? Even, you don't just rest on, oh, I had a great game. You guys just weren't as good as their teammates, so their star got the win and I didn't get the win. Can you pull your team over the finish line and get them the scores that they need? Can you do the extra little things? Do you show up on that day? Now, it doesn't happen every time, but consistently for the most of the part, because that other squad, they know they can double, triple, whatever it needs to do, or they know your weakness, or they beat you in this area because you're not as good as that area. And then so that's one thing that you can elevate. And then the other thing is, what happens when you meet your match? There's somebody somewhere that is your match, that is just as good as you. How do you show up then when it's dead even, where one mistake on your part is going to make a big difference? Can you come through on that? Do you have the mental? That's a mental thing. And so these are the things that those college coaches are looking for if they're going to bring you on to a very high level team and they are bringing you on to be their star. And so you've been a star everywhere through the path. If you want to be a star at the collegiate level, that's what that coach is looking for. How do you show up? What is your confidence level? And then the other thing that I think that they're looking for, and I don't know, I talk to some college coaches, they never say these things for some reason, but the other thing that they're looking for is, can you play the game on your terms? Can you make the game look easy? If let's say you're playing a particular sport, can you, you're a running back, you can run for a lot of yards and you're faster than everybody and blah, blah, blah. But can you block really good? Do you take pride in that? Can you just say, in this game, I'm going to do this because these guys have a great rusher, or you're a great scorer, but you're going to be a great assist person because they're double, triple teaming you, and you can make the game the way you want it. And if you want to break out of whatever they're trying to take away from you, you can come back and let them know, you don't take anything from me. I'm going to do what I want to do out here. I'm deciding to do this. Do you have that ability? I think that's that difference maker. And this is what people see it. Maybe it's something that they can't articulate, but that's what they're looking for. If they're going to bring you over to be a star, you're going to continue being a star. And then here's the final piece I'll say about that verifiable kid. When you get to that next level, you're going to be going, and whether it's from high school to college, or college to pros, or Olympics, or whatever that is, there's a whole bunch of other kids when you get there that were you. Are you able to fit in now to a world where somebody else is king of the hill? And especially if you're going from high school to college, because there's some kids that are already there. Now, maybe you're just so exceptional that you're going to come in and take over again. But for the most part, you're going to come in and somebody's already the big dog there. Male or female, somebody's already there. Can you come in and get there? Okay, so that's your verified kid. We're just going to verify that what I've heard, what I've read, what I've seen on tape, whatever, I want to see it in person because it will translate differently in person. And then our second kid, I call the discovery kid. Now, this is the kid that maybe didn't necessarily have all of that training. They just picked, and this is what I think is so important, and I'm working on this. that they just pick the right sport for them. That this is the sport they naturally can play. And I think every kid has a sport they can play. In fact, in our software, there's 32 different sports between male and female that you can be participating in that can get you an athletic scholarship. And I don't think most kids even get a chance to play more than 3, ever. So this kid is just playing that sport that just fits them. And especially if you're really athletic. There's some kids that aren't that athletic. And so there's other sports they would have actually been better at, but they can get this other sport, but they'll never be that high level. But you say this kid is playing their right sport, but they don't have that extra training. Maybe they're in an area where it's not that emphasized. Maybe their parents don't emphasize it, but they're good. They're good enough that they're probably the second best player on their team. And if it's a really high level team, maybe they're the third best player, but they are key. They run, if you look at their stat line, their scores, no matter where they are, they're always filling in all the boxes. And they can absolutely play at the next level. And so for this kid, it's really super important that they go to combines and showcases and viewing events so that they can get, and then if they're going to go, they're going to be going where they're going to be playing against the best of the best. Because they're going to be able to show up. They're going to be, somebody came to see that verified player, and here you are on the same field or court or whatever the competition is. You're there with them, and you're hanging toe-to-toe. In fact, it's just noticeable, and you're just that kid. And maybe on your own high school team, there's a star there, and you're right next to him. It doesn't matter as much to you because you just like playing the game. And this happens to a lot of kids that are really good at the sport, but they can take it or leave it, to be perfectly honest. When they get on that in competition, they show up, and they don't care if they got to take the best player on the other team or if they're going against, they're being matched up with the star of the other place, whether it's wrestling and I've seen this in every single sport, even shooting and archery. I've gone to see those competitions now. Now, they're not in high schools, but I go to those events now because we're trying to get better at understanding all of these sports and what does it take to get there. But there's some people that can just calm themselves. And that's why I got into that vision and the oxygen and the cognitive ability of an athlete. And the stuff I'm going to bring to you guys as we move forward. But that kid, that kid, they can show up. And here's how you know you're that kid. When you're not in the lineup for whatever reason, maybe there's an injury, something's going on, you're not going to be able to play this week or whatever, you can see that superstar kind of lose a little bit of their confidence because they know that you're right next to them, that they're going to rely on you. And you see it all the time in the pro areas. Somebody that's missing, you're like, why is that a big deal? That person's not really the person with all the stats and all the stuff, but they're key. They're key to you winning. And you don't even hardly see it, but the coaches see it. The people that are evaluating players, they see it. They understand the game. Now, other people can see it too sometimes, but if you're that player, you still have a great opportunity of getting an offer. Now, here's the hitch on that one. If you're that player, one of the things college coaches love to do is they like to discover that hidden, appreciated athlete, and they want to bring them in. But if they're going to bring you in, they're bringing you in to be the star. And so if that is the case, if they're bringing you in to start, now there's some at the high level, they'll be bringing you in to be a complement to their star player. But there could be at that especially at that D2 or mid-major D1 or something, they see that you're just as good as everybody else out there. They want to bring you in to be their star. Can you make that adjustment? Can you jump over to become that for that school, for that team, for that coach? Can you do that? And if you can do that, then you have the chance of getting to that next level also, because you're not used to being in that limelight in that way. But if you can adjust and get there, then you have a chance to go really, really far because you understand both ends of it. And now as the star player, that verifiable player, that they've got to, what if they get to that high level and now they're just a complimentary, I won't say a complimentary, but they're the discovery player all of a sudden. And so can they adjust to that? Because they can still get to the next level because they've seen both sides. So yeah, there's going to be some people that are going to be just the star all the way through. There's going to be some players that are that discovery kid, and they're just going to be good and steady. And no matter what you do, what you throw at them, they're there, they're good to go, and they can get all the way there. But those are the kids that I think I see, and those are the archetypes, I'll call them, that I've seen get offers over and over and over again. Now, you still got to do the other things. You have to be positioned. You have to have taken the right courses. You have to have the grades. You have to be qualified to get into the college. All of that stuff still has to be there. But these are the people that I see over and over and over again get offered. It's that verified player. They've got everything there. They've always been a star, and they've embraced that, and they're good with it. And then there's the discovery player that's just as good as that, almost as good as that star player, but just plays the game. It just is just very good at what they're doing also. And the coach discovers them, and they see them because they came to see the other people. So what is the bottom line on this? Be great on your high school team or whatever team that you're working with daily or whatever you're doing daily, but get yourself into the arena with the best of the best, no matter which of those you are, whether you're the star or the verifiable player, or you're the sort of the complimentary player or the discover player. Put yourself in the arena with the best of the best and then show up. That's the one piece nobody can fix for you. So anyway, guys, I wanted to put that together. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. I got a little bit of disappointment, but I'm going to give them one more week. This is the 1st of October. This is the beginning of October. Next week, I'm going to tell you about some things that we're working on and we're trying to do. I'm just trying to get everything. So if I make an announcement here that it's legit, everything is solid and racked up. I did get a little bit of a downer this week, but then I got something cool that happened too. So I'll explain all this stuff to you next week. Hey, you guys. I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. I'm going to put a QR code up here that is a QR code that will show you what AthleticSOS is. I am going to put it down inside the description also. I'm also going to put the code. I'm going to also give you the instructions for how to use the code so that you can sign up. It does not cost you anything to use AthleticSOS. And then I'm also going to try to put a QR code that will take you to the registration page. I appreciate all you guys. We've got hundreds and hundreds of kids that signed up from this still thing I'm doing. I'm sitting in the park. Crows are in the background. I get the golf course behind me. Sometimes they're mowing the grass. And you guys still sign up. So I think I'm doing something right here. And I'll reveal all the other stuff that we're talking about doing. So here's our goal. And I try to make this clear every week. What we're trying to do is take your athletic ability. If you want to get an athletic scholarship, we got the cool software. It'll help you do that. But what we're trying to do is get you to take your athletic ability and take that and leverage it so that you can live a great life as you move forward. And we talk about that in some of our other videos on what to do, how that works. But that's what I want to do. I want you guys to play your sport, play it as good as you can, go as far as you can. And don't forget my other thing that I always keep telling you guys, the best way for you to get as far as you can is to be the best version of you at your sport. Don't try to emulate somebody else. Be the best version of you. Yes, there's other players that play like you that you might want to pick up some things from, but you are you. You got to be the best version of you at your sport. And that's going to get you the furthest you can possibly be. You can possibly go, in my opinion. All this is my opinion. So again, guys, we'll talk to you guys next week. Best of luck in all your endeavors, and let's keep moving. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. We got some cool stuff coming, and then like the video. So YouTube is giving me some a lot of stuff to do. They keep sending me these tutorials of what I should be doing that I'm not doing, obviously. But if you guys can help us out, it'll grow. And the code that I give you guys, give that to other people. The code works for anybody. You're going to pick your sport as part of your registration to use the software. So what you're trying to do and what somebody else is trying to do could be completely different. And even if both of you play that same sport, they're still going to find schools that fit them, not the ones that you're going to fit. So your list of schools is going to be different than theirs. And you want to discover as many, and you want to help as many people. This is part of what we're going to do. You want to give. Don't worry about it. So, if I give this to somebody else, they might get a spot that that's not how you're going to live your life. That's not how we're going to move forward. So anyway, so I hope you guys join with us on this journey. I'm doing it with the business part of it, and I'm trying to do this from scratch. I have no connections in the youth sports world or in the sports world in general, but I can see me growing. I'm doing this, I think, the right way, and I want to show you guys how to do that, especially you parents and even your coaches and things like that are watching us. I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I'm doing because I want you guys to start your own business too. A family business is the way I like to go with it, but I don't want to go too far down that road. I'm going to end this right now. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.